Gomer Pyle, USMC. Starring Jim Neighbors as Gomer Pyle. Also starring Frank Sutton as Sergeant Carter.
Sergeant Carter reporting as ordered, sir.
At ease, Sergeant. I have a little favor I'd like to ask you.
Yes, sir.
My daughter Janice is coming home from college this weekend for a visit.
Yes, sir. I remember she was here last year at this time.
Well, she's been working awfully hard at school, and Mrs. Gray and I think that while she's here, she ought to relax and have some fun.
Yes, sir.
That's why I've been looking around trying to find a suitable escort.
An escort? Oh, yes, sir. I understand.
I want her to be with someone reliable, dependable, trustworthy.
I understand, sir.
That's why I came to your platoon for the man I want, Gomer Pyle.
Sir?
He and Janice met at a service club dance last year, and they seem to get along very well.
I see.
Of course, I only met him casually, and I'd like to know a little more about him. What's he like socially?
Socially, sir? Pyle? Well, socially, there really isn't much to say about Pyle, socially.
No, what I mean is, Sergeant, how does he spend his time away from the base? What does he do on a Saturday night?
Well, sir, Pyle's idea of a big Saturday night is going to the movies, maybe having a root beer float at the soda shop, watching the fountain light up in the park, and then straight home.
I see. You might call it rather dull.
Dull, yes, sir. I'd say dull. Dull.
Good, he's perfect.
Sir?
Well, these things might seem dull to you, Sergeant, but they sound nice and safe to a father.
I don't understand, sir.
Well, it may seem a little old-fashioned, Sergeant, but the way youngsters behave nowadays, the situations they're exposed to, a parent can't be too careful. Yes, I feel much better knowing that Janice is in good hands. Gomer Pyle it is. Would you ask him if he'd do me this favor?
Yes, sir. I'll take care of everything. Pyle will be there. You don't want to go. Is that what you said?
Golly, Sergeant, a pretty girl like Miss Janice, who's used to all kinds of big time, she might not enjoy my company.
That's very true. But the fact is, the Colonel asked for you specifically, and I'm here to see that nothing gets fouled up. Now, what have you got planned for Saturday night?
Well, nothing much, really. I just thought I'd take in a movie.
Okay. What else have you got in mind?
Well, then I'll probably just walk over to the soda shop and maybe down to the tattoo parlor and see some needlework, and then home.
Swell, Pyle. Only forget the needlework. Let's not expose the Colonel's daughter to bare arms.
You really think she'll have a good time, Sergeant?
Do I think so personally? No. I think she'll have a dull time. Dull. That's what the Colonel wants. Nice, safe company for his daughter.
Well, Sergeant?
And safe means no holding hands, no walking in the moonlight, no park benches, no necking, no parking, no nothing.
Right, Sergeant.
Have a good time.
Good evening, sir. Gomer Pyle.
Of course, Pyle. Come right in.
Thank you, sir.
Marcia, you remember Gomer Pyle.
Yes, of course. It's nice to see you again, Gomer. Please sit down.
Thank you, ma'am.
Janice will be ready in a moment.
I sure hope I didn't get here too early.
No, it'll give us a chance to chat for a few minutes. What were your plans for the evening, Pyle?
Well, sir, I thought we'd start out with a movie.
A movie? Well, that's always a nice way to spend Saturday night.
Oh, yes, especially for you boys. With all the marching and hiking you do, it gives you a chance to rest your feet.
Well, the marching and hiking don't bother me none, Miss Gray. You see, I always wear 2 pairs of sweat socks.
Oh, you do?
Yes, ma'am. And before I start out, I always make it a point to douse my boots with foot powder. That way I can just keep going all day.
Oh, I see.
And then what, Pyle, after the movie?
Well, I thought we'd stroll over to J.J. Peters for a hot fudge sundae. They got the best hot fudge sundaes there. Do you like hot fudge sundaes, ma'am?
Yes, I do.
Well, you ought to try these. They use that low-cal ice cream, so you don't have to worry about it going to fat.
No.
And after the Sunday, Pyle?
Well, that's it. Home.
Good. Sounds fine. Well, here's our little girl.
Hello, Gomer.
Hey, ma'am.
It's nice to see you again. I hope I haven't kept you waiting.
Oh, no, ma'am. I was having a nice chat with your folks.
Oh, good.
These are for you, ma'am.
Oh, thank you, Gomer.
I hope you don't have any allergies, do you?
I hope not.
There was this girl back home, and every time I brought her flowers, she'd just bust out in the hives.
Oh.
What I finally did, though, was every time I'd bring her flowers, I'd just bring along a bottle of calamine lotion.
Well, I guess you kids want to be going.
Yes. Here, Mom. Come on, Gomer.
The sooner you get there, the sooner you'll be back. Now, let's see. The movie should break around 10, and you say you're going to stop for Sunday. So we should be looking for you around 11. 11:15 at the latest.
Well, darling, since it's Saturday night, perhaps they'd like to stay out a bit later.
Oh, well...
No. Gomer's already made his plans, and it's not for us to interfere. Now, Gomer, you'll be using Mrs. Gray's car. I'm sure you'll drive carefully.
Oh, I will. And don't you worry, Miss Gray. I'll take off real nice and easy, and that way I won't foul up your plugs or gunk up your valves.
Thank you, Gomer. Well, now, you go along, enjoy yourselves. Have fun.
Yes, careful fun. Oh, incidentally, Pyle, here's our phone number. If you think of it, you might want to phone us after the movie.
Oh, now, Daddy, we'll be all right.
I know, dear, but your mother is such a worrier.
Now, Ed, you know you do all the worrying.
Well, there's no sense in anybody worrying. Worrying causes warts, and they sure wouldn't look nice on you, ma'am. So if it'll set your mind at ease, I'd be happy to call. Good night, sir. Good night, ma'am.
Night,
Good night,
Good
Pyle.
night.
Night,
Good night,
Janice.
dear. Have fun.
Sure was nice of your mother to lend us the car. The bus is okay, but you don't always get to sit together, and sometimes there's chewing gum on the seats.
Gomer, may I have the keys?
Huh?
Would you mind if I drove?
Well,
I hardly ever get a chance to drive, and it'd be fun.
well, I guess it's all right. You don't think your daddy will mind, do you?
No, I'm sure it'd be all right, Gomer. Just give me the keys.
Well, if you hadn't driven for a long time, you better kind of take it easy.
Are you all right, Gomer?
I'll be fine, Miss Jenny, as soon as I catch up with my stomach. Wait a minute, this is not the movie house.
I know.
The Way Out of Go-Go Club. What are we doing here?
We're going dancing. Come on.
But, Miss Jenny,
Come on.
dancing? We're supposed to go to the movies.
Oh, Gomer, you don't want to go to a dull movie, do you?
But, Miss Janice, we made plans.
I know, but I've heard so much about these go-go clubs, and I've just been dying to see what they're really like. Can't we please go in?
Miss Janice?
Look, Gomer, I don't get a chance to have too much fun. I work pretty hard at school all semester, so when I'm home, I like to relax and really enjoy myself.
But we sure are going to look out of place according to the way the rest of those folks are dressed.
Oh, no, we're not.
Huh? What, Miss Janice? Miss Janice?
If you're gonna do something, you might as well do it right. Come on.
You wouldn't do that if you knew who her daddy was. Wait, Miss Jenny.
Oh, Gomer, doesn't this look like fun?
What?
I said, isn't this fun?
Yeah. Well, we've seen all there is to see, so I guess we might as well go.
Go! Oh, but Gomer, we haven't even danced yet. Let's give it a try, please.
But,
Come on, try it. It's fun.
but I don't know how to do this, Miss Jenny.
Well, I don't really know what I'm doing either, but it's fun. Come on, give it a try.
Ollie, if the Colonel could see us in this place acting up like this, he'd just be furious. Now, I think we ought to go, Miss Dennis, and I'm not going to take no for an answer either. Your daddy's trusted me to take real good care of you, and that's just what I'm going to do. I think we ought to go to the movies just like I said we would. I thought you was Miss Janice.
What do you think you're doing, you creep?
Miss Janice? Miss Janice? wonder if you've seen her. She has on one of them little shorty skirts.
Oh, you mean a mini skirt with a white belt?
Yeah, that's her. Have you seen her?
Yeah, sure. Her and about 100 more like her. Just take your pick.
Miss Janice? Miss Janice? Oh, golly, golly, golly. Sergeant Carter, why did you hear?
Pyle, what are you doing here? Why haven't you picked up the colonel's daughter? You know what time it is?
I did pick her up, Sergeant.
Then where is she? You're supposed to be at the movies.
I know, but it's just terrible awful. You'll never believe what happened.
What? What happened?
Well, I don't know how to tell you this, Sergeant, but I can't find her.
You can't find her? Where did you leave her?
Well, we didn't go to the movies. Instead, we went to this go-go club.
A go-go club?
Uh-huh, and we was out there dancing, and next thing I knew, she wasn't there.
You...
She's lost, Sergeant. Colonel's daughter's lost.
What were you doing in this joint in the first place? You were supposed to be in the movies.
I know we shouldn't have gone in there, but when Miss Janice started pulling off her dress, I...
Pulling off her? Well, I don't want to hear another word. Colonel put me in charge of this state of what happened. He lost his daughter.
But, Sergeant, what are we going to do?
I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to go in this club and turn it upside down. Now, come on, let's move it.
I sure hope we find her.
I don't blame you. Your life depends on it. All right, Pyle, where is she? Where'd you lose her?
What'd you say, Sergeant?
I said, where were you when you lost her?
Well, it was somewhere right here, and then we walked off this way and started dancing.
Okay, Johnny, come on. We gotta get out of here. Sorry.
Wasn't her, huh, Sergeant?
No. Come on, let's look for her.
Sergeant! Sergeant! Hey, Sergeant. Golly, I just remembered. I told the colonel that I'd call right after the movie, and it's about that time.
Then you better call him. Come on, here's the phone booth. Do you mind? Excuse us, we want to make a phone call. Do you mind?
What am I going to tell him, Sergeant?
Oh, tell him you and Janice are having a swell time and everything's great. That'll have to do till we find her.
But, Sergeant, I can't tell him that. That's not the truth.
All right, Pyle. You want to know the truth? You and me are about that far from a court-martial, and that's the truth. Now get on here and talk.
But, Sergeant...
No buts, Pyle.
I still think it's only going to make matters worse. Hello? Colonel Gray? This is PFC Pyle. I'm calling like I said I would. Well, bye.
Wait a minute, Pyle. Where are you?
Where am I? Oh, well, I'm right here in the phone booth.
Yes. Well, where's the phone?
Where's the phone? Well, it's right here in the booth.
You're in the movie lobby. The lobby, Pyle. What's the matter with you?
And what is all that noise I hear?
Noise? Oh, well, that's Sergeant Carter. You want to talk to him?
Good evening, sir. How are you, sir?
Sergeant, I didn't know you were part of the date.
Oh, I just happened to run into Gomer and Janice in the movie. It was just a happy coincidence, sir.
Get out of here! Get out of here and stay on!
What's all that, Carter? Is anything wrong?
Oh, no, sir. An usher just happened to catch somebody smoking, and he's asking him to put it out.
Sergeant. Miss Janice! Miss Janice!
Well, Sergeant, now I can really feel secure knowing that both you and Gomer are looking after Janice.
Oh, yes, sir. We won't let her out of our sight for a second, sir.
Miss Janice!
Oh, Gomer, I've looked everywhere. Where were you? I met some of the nicest people.
Well, I was with Sergeant Carter, and we was looking for you. Miss Janice, I think we better be getting you home.
Oh, not now, Gomer. They're having a bash, and we're invited.
A bash? Where?
You take our car and follow us.
But, Miss Janice, you better wait a minute.
It's on High Point Street, Eddie's pad.
Where is she, Pyle? Where is she?
You just missed her, Sergeant, and she's on her way to Eddie's pad.
Eddie's pad? What's that?
I don't know, but there's a bash, and we're invited.
Oh, you idiot. What did you let her get away for?
Well, I tried to stop her, Sergeant. Sergeant, what's a bash?
You don't know? Like to bash someone's head in. I'll show you later. Come on, in the car.
That was Miss Janice, all right, Sergeant.
Come on, let's go before we lose her again.
I'm warning you kids for the last time. You cut out this racket or I'm calling the police, you hear? And I'm not gonna tell you again. Now you going in there, two servicemen? Shame on you. Here we people pay taxes just to send you to wild parties. Disgraceful, that's what it is. Disgraceful. I'm gonna write a letter to my congressman tomorrow. Now you see if I don't.
Well, no, ma'am. You
Come
said no.
on.
And I'll write a letter to the Times, too.
Where is she, Pyle? Do you see her?
It's too crowded here, Sergeant. I'll go over here and look this way.
Hey, man, what's happening?
Hey there.
Look, man, I'm going into the service in about a week, and I was wondering if you could tell me the ins and outs.
Ins and outs.
Yeah, like once you get in, you don't like it. How do you get out?
You don't. Once you get in, you... Excuse me, I gotta find somebody.
Hey, wait a second, man. Did they ever give you a chance to blow your mind by yourself, or do you gotta groove with the whole scene at once, man?
Say what?
Sit down and think things out. Like I'm still trying to figure out who I am. Sometimes I have trouble identifying.
Oh, well, there's no worry there. Once you get in, they give you a set of dog tags with your name on them. So if you ever forget, all you gotta do is take a look. Now, we got to go.
Hey, wait a second, man. One more thing. I'm gonna be going into a strange environment, so to speak. A lot of crooks and weirdos, right? Am I gonna have trouble communicating?
Not if you keep your mouth shut. Excuse me. Miss Janice! Sergeant.
Huh? At last. Well, she's coming with us right now. Excuse me. Miss Gray, I hate to butt in like this, but I think we ought to be getting you home now.
Home? Oh, but Sergeant, we just got here. Do we have to go right now?
Well, your father's expecting you, and I don't like to disappoint him, so if you don't mind...
Look, Sarge, she don't want to go, and besides, we haven't finished our dance. Come on, Janice.
Look, pal, you don't understand. She has to be home at a certain time. Come on, Janice.
Sarge, it's Saturday night, man. Look alive.
That's what I'm trying to do. Come on, Janice. Come on.
All right, everybody, hold it. Quiet now. Stay right where you are.
You see, officer, didn't I tell you? It's a brawl. Oh, I'm gonna write to the Times about this.
That's a straight dope, officer, from beginning to end.
Well, I didn't think it was anything serious, but we still had to break it up. I believe your story, Sergeant. Yes. What's that? Oh, all right. Send him back here. The question is, Sergeant, will he believe it?
He?
Janice, darling, what happened? Are you all right? I'm okay, Dad. Oh.
I think I'll leave you people here alone. You probably have quite a bit to talk over.
Thank you, Sergeant. Thanks very much for your supervision. If that's the sort of work you've been doing with your platoon, maybe a change of scenery would help. Perhaps a cooler climate would help make you more alert, like, say, the Aleutians.
But, sir...
Wait a minute, sir. I accept full responsibility for everything that's happened this evening. I know I told you I was taking Miss Janice to the movies, but we just never did get there. So I stand here looking for the worst kind of punishment you can deal out, because I know I deserve it.
Well, you certainly do, Gomer. You were a very poor choice indeed for a date with our daughter.
Excuse me, ma'am, sir. If anyone's responsible for this, it's me. I was put in charge of the arrangements for this date, and if there was a foul-up, well, I'm the one that should be held responsible.
You certainly should, Sergeant.
No, wait a minute. Whatever happened tonight is all my doing. I wanted to see what one of those go-go clubs was like, and now I know. So if anybody's to blame, it's me.
Well, I think you're right, Janice. You started it all. This whole embarrassing situation is your fault.
That's what
Oh, ma'am.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Now that I've heard each one of you insist on taking the blame, I'll tell you who I really think is to blame. Me.
You, sir?
Yes. I think maybe I'd better start giving my daughter the opportunity to take care of herself. I guess she should have the privilege of finding her own answers, like all youngsters. So if we're going to get to the root of this whole thing, you might say it was all my fault.
You know, Ed, I think you're right. It is your fault.
Are you sure this time?
Well, you have been a bit overprotective, you know.
I know. I'm sorry I tried to take over your evening for you, Pyle. Sergeant, I'm sorry I turned you into a chaperone. And Janice, I won't be auditioning any more of your dates. From now on, you're on your own. Well, now, tell us about this go-go club. Was it fun?
It sounds horrid.
No, it's really something to see. It's fascinating.
What happens at these places?
Well, they just sort of get out on the floor and go.
Go?
Well, it's kind of hard to describe. You see, they... Gomer, show Daddy.
Oh, no, Miss Janice. I don't think I better.
Oh, come on, Gomer.
Show us, Pyle.
Well, sir, I'm just a beginner, but go something like this. Sure was nice being with you, Miss Janice, even with all the excitement.
Thanks, Gomer. I do hope I see you again soon. Bye.
We'll get your car back to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Sergeant.
Boy, am I glad this night is over, Pyle. And I'll tell you something. Maybe the colonel was willing to say it was his fault, but I still say if you weren't such a knucklehead, nothing would have happened.
But, Sergeant...
No but, Sergeant. You know what your problem is, Pyle? You can't stand up to nobody or nothing. When that girl steered you into that go-go joint, Colonel's daughter or no Colonel's daughter, you should have put your foot down.
Well, Sergeant, I tried.
You hear me, Pyle? You should have put your foot down.
Right, Sergeant.
Hi, Sergeant. Would you be nice enough to give us a lift?
Well, I
Oh,
don't...
thank you.
Very nice, Sergeant. Very nice. A gang of ruffians with a Marine sergeant at the wheel. Oh, I'll write a letter to the Times about this.
I guess you should have put your foot down, huh, Sergeant?